Founded in the 1940s, Hells Angels have etched their indelible mark on the annals of biker history. In this extraordinary narrative, we shed light on the relentless rivals who dared to stand up against the Hells Angels, each with their own stories of defiance and ruthlessness. These adversaries have carved their place in the gritty underworld of motorcycle clubs. The Rock Machine, challenging dominance. Founded in the early 1990s, the Rock Machine was a relatively new player in the biker gang scene. Their mission? To challenge the long-standing dominance of Hells Angels, particularly in Quebec, Canada. With a strong foothold in the drug trade, their clashes sparked a bloody battle known as the Quebec Biker War. The violence escalated, leaving a trail of devastation and casualties. The Outlaws, Midwest rivals. Emerging in the 1960s, the Outlaws quickly established themselves as fierce competitors and one of the oldest and biggest rivals of Hells Angels. Their battles for control of the Midwest drug trade led to infamous clashes, including a violent confrontation of a motorcycle rally in Michigan. Over the years, the feud between these two clubs has continued, marked by bloody shootouts and losses of lives. The Bandidos, Texas Showdown. The Bandidos, a motorcycle club founded in Texas in 1966, sought a sense of belonging and purpose. As their reputation for violence and criminal activity grew, so did their rivalry with Hells Angels. Power struggle within the Bandidos resulted in a split, leading to a series of violent clashes. The war between these two clubs reached its peak in Australia, with brutal attacks and even car bombings. The Mongols, bloody rivalry. Formed in California in the late 1960s, the Mongols emerged as a club founded by Latino bikers who were seeking their own identity. Their clash with the Hells Angels began at a poker tournament and quickly escalated into a brutal war. Both sides engaged in retaliatory strikes, resulting in numerous injuries and deaths. A major FBI operation in 2008 weakened the Mongols, but didn't totally extinguish the flames of their rivalry. The Vagos, territory disputes. Founded in California in 1965, the Vagos expanded their operations globally. When they encroached on Hells Angels territory, a violent feud ensued. Confrontations like the infamous 2002 Lachlan River Run riot and the fatal shooting of a Hells Angel member intensified the conflict. The ongoing war between these two clubs exemplifies the fierce determination of both sides. The Pagans, East Coast threat. Born on the East Coast in the 1950s, the Pagans Motorcycle Club established their foothold with a primary focus on the methamphetamine trade. Known for their non-conformist outlook, the Pagans would eventually cross paths with the Hells Angels, sparking a bitter rivalry that continues to this day. The key region of contention between these two clubs is the Mid-Atlantic region, specifically Philadelphia, where control over drug trafficking operations is the primary bone of contention. The Hells Angels attempt to re-establish a chapter in Philly in the 2000s that led to a violent backlash from the Pagans and marked the beginning of a series of violent encounters. To this day, the feud continues, punctuated by occasional flare-ups of violence. Sons of Silence, the Great Plains conflict. Birthed in Colorado in the 1960s, the Sons of Silence established a reputation as a no-nonsense club with a deep-seated disdain for authority. Striving for autonomy, they began expanding their operations throughout the Great Plains, an area the Hells Angels considered their domain. This encroachment didn't at all sit well with the Hells Angels, leading to violent confrontations and a rivalry that persists to today. The Sons of Silence, while fewer in number, are known for their tenacity and unyielding spirit, characteristics that have kept them afloat in this deadly feud. Their struggle for control over the Great Plains has led to several brutal altercations, making their story a remarkable chapter in the annals of biker gang history. Starting with the Rock Machine's daunting challenge, traversing through the Outlaws' epic Midwest rivalry, the Bandidos' intense Texas showdown, the Mongols' brutal reprisals, the Vagos' dogged territorial disputes, the Pagans' East Coast threats, and culminating in the Sons of Silence Great Plains conflict, these clubs have each carved their unique narratives into biker lore.
Even in the face of dominant Hells Angels, they've each displayed their individual strengths and resolve. The unfolding drama among these clubs continues to shape the very high stakes, a tumultuous world of motorcycle gangs. Which club's story, though, captivates you the most? We'd love to hear in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and make sure to hit the bell icon so that you will always get the very latest from us first.